Have you ever wondered if the end is near? With all the things that's been going on in 2020, some of us are wondering maybe end time is near. In Mark chapter 13, Jesus talks about the signs of end time. He talked about a bunch of signs signaling the end. And we have seen most of them. False teacher or leader who claim that they can solve all the problems in the world. Sounds familiar? We've seen that. We have seen uh, many wars happening in our lifetime. We have seen bombing, civil wars, and all-out wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. We, those of us who live in California, we know of earthquake more than anyone. The famine has become a bigger problem this year with coronavirus. What about persecution of Christians? It's getting worse in many parts of the world. Churches get shut down, people get arrested for practicing their faith. Jesus also said here the good news must be preached to the whole world, and he will come back to judge the living and the dead. So, what does this mean to us today? It reminds us that things will come to an end one day. Our world will not continue forever as is. Jesus has come 2,000 years ago, and he will come back with power and glory, and he will judge the living and the dead. We just don't know when the Son of Man will come back. It may happen in our lifetime, or it may be for another 1,000 years. Early Christians believed that Jesus will come back in their lifetime. He didn't. One thing for sure, our world may go on for another 1,000 years, but my world and your world will come to an end when our physical lives end. We will be no more one day. Jesus will come to me, or I'll go to Jesus. One of these two things will happen, maybe next 80 years or 100 years to all of us. In the end, everything goes back in the box like a monopoly. You know, you can win a lot of things with a monopoly, but when game is over, everything goes back in the box. One of the young men told me one day that he doesn't want to get married because he does not want to share his wealth with anyone. The thing is, you cannot take anything with you. You're just managing what God has given you while you're around. So don't think your world is going to be around forever. Remember, Jesus will come, or you will go to Jesus. So here we are just called to make most of our lives. To make most of our lives, we have to focus on what matters the most. So let me ask you a question. What matters the most to you? Not urgent, but important. What are the important things? Watch last episode of your favorite show? It may be urgent, but they're not important. So how do you determine the importance? I suggest that we use the time as a filter. Ask this question. Will this matter 10 years from now? That is a great filter to run things through. Will this matter 10 years from now? If answer is yes, then you gotta focus. People matter 10 years later. Your family matters. Our children matter. Your parents matter. Mending your relationship with your dad matters. Showing people love of Jesus Christ matters. Sharing good news of Jesus matters. Jesus said here the gospel has to be preached to the whole world. God is waiting for us to share the good news of Jesus Christ with others. We are the representative of Christ. We gotta share the good news. How life can be different with Jesus leading us. Sharing gospel with people matters. And my relationship with Christ matters. The Apostle Paul, toward the end of his life, said this in Philippians chapter 3, verse 8. Yes, everything else is worthless when compared with the infinite value of knowing Christ Jesus, my Lord. Paul discovered the infinite value of knowing Jesus, and he decided to grow his relationship with Christ. Knowing Christ matters. Jesus loves you and offers you the relationship that will last forever, last through eternity. Pandemic reminds us how fragile, vulnerable, temporary our world and our life can be. Here's one thing that you have a control over: your relationship with Christ. You don't have to wait until the end times to meet with Jesus. You don't have to wait until you die to meet with Jesus. You can meet with Him today. You can start walking with Christ today. You can start doing life with Jesus today. So invite Christ into your heart and walking with Him today. Draw yourself closer to Christ during this season of Christmas. God bless you.